Let's turn this light on. Ooh.
Thanks, Brian. Hello. Welcome to Copperhead Road Homestead Live.
If you want to scoot forward.
Sure. I feel like you look very...
I need to scoot down a little bit. Hey,
Hi,
Deb.
Deb, I need to go. Are you still doing it, the Instapot? I need to go look at some of your recipes.
She cooked some rice in the Instant Pot tonight.
And so I need to go see what you got going on with that.
Yeah, I start early because I wanted it to all get settled so we can actually start what we want to talk about at the right start time. So we were watching it, getting ready before that, and there was if any of you are watching this afterward, because it's going to be on here afterward, you can just kind of fast forward the first 4 minutes or so. And I don't ever do any editing of it afterward. Maybe I should. I might start eventually. Hello, daughter of states' rights.
Hello.
You confused me on Facebook. I think you said something about I saw a name I didn't recognize, and then you said something about a lemon tree, and I was thinking, I bet that's daughter of states' rights. I think it was. Yeah.
That's cool. I'll go check out your Instapot stuff when
Bake a cake.
Yeah, that sounds good. Bake a cake.
Yeah, I use our Instant Pot.
Hello.
I use our Instant Pot for cooking beans all the time. I cook all sorts of beans in it. What's the other thing I cook in it? Oh, I boil eggs in it all the time. Hey, Byron. Glad you're here. Brian. Sorry, Brian. Hey, Small Farm Survival. Well, there's Angel Eyes. I hadn't been seeing you in a little while. I've been wondering if everything was okay with you. I can see you can see both of us fine. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad everything's working fine. Is everybody else seeing us okay and hearing us fine? We cook all sorts of. I've also cooked some. Have I cooked some meat in there? What else have I cooked in the Instant Pot?
I cooked some roast or something one time.
Yeah, we tried some roast. Yeah. Hello, our cabin in the woods. Hadn't seen you in a while. Glad to see you. Appreciate all of you being here. I started a few minutes early. I know.
I feel like it's awkward to start early.
Do you guys feel awkward?
Well, I not really feel awkward. But
I just start early because that way we can all get everything going pretty well, and
as
then
opposed to our first live video.
We can actually start. Yeah, and if there's any mistakes that I can get them fixed, we can get the actual information. We can actually get the information starting at 8 o'clock. Buffering. Everything's fine. Maybe it's on your end, our cabin in the woods. Is it everything fine for everyone else? Hey, Pine Haven.
Hello.
Puppy's doing okay? I saw a couple of videos. Looks good. All right, good. Okay, all's fine. I was wondering why you were saying no, Deb. Like, first live stream. Nice to see you. Hey, Daisy. Just as a note, I'll probably say it one more time. And with everyone that's here, it doesn't look like it's going to be a problem, but we keep everything, very family friendly here. I got them all reserved already. That's pretty amazing, Pine Haven.
Is that the puppies that you're telling me?
The Moreland kennels, the, what is it? They're Bernie's Mountain Dog, Bernie Doodles. Yeah. Yeah, they just got some rabbits too. So everything's going really well for them. There was no buffering. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. I was wondering what it is. It looks pretty clear on our end, but anyway, I was saying that that we're keeping it very family friendly. We've got some moderators in here. If I need to, solicit some more, then I will do so. But moderators, make sure to boot anyone who is causing any problems. Yeah, I saw there was an email from you, Papa. The piglets.
They are so cute. I really enjoy holding them. They're super cute.
For the first time, they came out like yesterday. They came out, of the dog kennel and or dog crate, and they're just hopping around over there. I'm hoping that we can get them, sold quickly because we don't need any more baby pigs.
We don't need
I've talked to one person. I haven't listed them or anything, but talked to one person. They said just consider it sold. They wanted a female, but they need to be, at least another week and a half or 2 weeks old.
They're pretty cute. I've held them a couple times today.
But yeah, they're all doing okay. So I told you in the other video that we're learning lots of lessons. We're making mistakes. We're going to talk about that here in just a minute.
Those piglets are all alive.
All these, oh yeah, they're doing great. They're cute, cute, cute. I wonder if I can, put a picture up here for all of you. I might put a picture of Rua and one of the babies, but that's a giant Schnauzer. He's a great puppy. He's a great dog. Is he back here behind us? Is he?
Yeah.
Can you see him?
No, I don't think they can see him. He's right there. Toby.
I can show you. I can't see.
No. Toby. 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 Come here.
They won't get really big. They'll only get about, I'd say, maximum of, 75 pounds. But that would be if you.
Like
that would be if you, fed them really well too. So, yeah, that's a giant Schnauzer. We're actually going to breed them as well. So, Nana and Papa have a female up at the pond named Marie Laveau, and this is Toby Ziegler behind us. She might be bred. We don't know for sure. She's just now old enough to be bred, but they're great dogs. We love them.
Yeah, Toby is tired. He gets tired about 8 o'clock. Yes. He's been with the kids all day, and
he's a big baby. He's a big teddy bear for us, but I think that he would, his teeth, he'd become teeth and toenails if anybody messed with a kid. He follows them around. He watches them really closely, and he also he's kind of become my hog dog too. Oh man, you should do a little bit. That's what we'll talk about in a minute. But Peggy, yeah, he's a great dog, and he watches them. What was he doing? What was I talking about? He's our hog dog. When a pig gets out of the electric fence, which does it, we had one that anytime I would rattle any corn, she would just run right out of there, and Toby will help me chase her down and catch her and put her back in there. So, yeah. Well, I was playing with him. I was down on the ground on all fours, and was growling and playing with him. I swiped at his paw, and he kind of barked at me a little bit. And
yeah, that was not normal.
But I think there was something else going on.
I think there was something else because our friend Chad, he kind of messed with his foot or messed with him for a second, and I think he was hurt or something that day.
So the title of the live stream was, the time is now. Time to start preparing is now. Not preparing. The time to start homesteading is now. And Peggy, you mentioned just a minute ago that, if you were 50 years younger, that you might do this. And there are several things I want to say about that. About homesteading. I think it's a really great thing, but I've got some notes here that I decided I'm changing the order now. But the first thing I want to mention about it is that homesteading isn't a one size fits all. So yeah, we have, acreage, and we have pigs, and we have rabbits, and we have all these different things. But Peggy, this is the very fact that you are thinking about it and you like it. I think that if you don't consider yourself a homesteader, you're an honorary homesteader. And I think that it doesn't really take much, to do just a little bit, just something in the house, even a container garden, a plant in the house. You can do an herb garden in the windowsill, right? So do something. Always had lots of pets and gardens. There you go, Peggy. I knew it. I knew you were a homesteader, and I think that's a great thing. I think that I don't like being a conspiracy theorist or anything like that, but we are. Yeah, I don't like it in some ways. The reason I don't like it is not because I don't think those things aren't true, but I think it's the reason I don't like to do it is because it sends me down this rabbit hole, and I kind of go into a bit of despair. And there's a whole lot of things that you can't prove, about it. So I don't like to worry about that, but I think that there may end up being at some point, something that goes wrong, and that we need to have some of the skills and the abilities and, some things stored up to do it. We're closet preppers. One of the reasons we homestead is not just because we care about what we eat. We do. We're not perfect at it yet. We care about those things that we eat. We like to have fresh produce, and you get it better from your own place than you can anywhere else. But also because we are trying to prepare for the future. So start homesteading.
I like your comment, Deb, but I make do with what I have right now. And I think that's so important. Daniel asked me what I wanted to talk about or what was on my mind. And I actually signed up for, if you don't know, I'm Rua and I'm a nurse. And so I signed up for a psych nurse practitioner program this week. And then I thought, I don't want to do this. Like, I want to homestead and enjoy my family. And so I think the grass can always appear greener on the other side. And so I think that I'm good right now with what I have.
Yeah, well, the thing with psych nurse practitioners is they make more money, significantly more money than registered nurses. But money isn't everything.
Which I didn't actually know that at the time.
Yeah, money isn't everything, number one. Number two, we want to be here. We're working on preparing our homestead. We're putting all this work in building the soil, getting our systems in place, adding all these perennials that just come back every year and they plant once. We're working on all these things, and there might not be a whole lot of psych nurse practitioner jobs in the area. So
I agree. Money is not everything, and we're fine. Like, we're fine. And yeah, I think I just thought, oh yeah, I want that degree, but I don't.
Well, one of the reasons that you wanted it, I think that she wanted it, was to prove to herself that she could do it as well. When she first started college and stuff, she wasn't a great student. But by the time she finished, a few years ago, she was a great student. And she didn't know for sure if she could go beyond that, but she got accepted. She got to all this different thing. It would have worked out, but I think one of the things, and that she was talking about with that, is that you kind of have to prioritize, and that's one of the things with homesteading as well. You got to prioritize what's important to you. Money, the plants, the animals, what things that you want. Again, I've mentioned this a few times, but there's one subscriber and friend that I've made since I've started YouTube who raised a bunch of meat rabbits in her home in town. Nobody even knew about it. They're quiet. Nobody even knows that you have them. So you've got to choose what's important to you. And one of the ways that you start homesteading is start small. It made me a list. I started doing a video yesterday, but then I didn't, finish it and didn't do it. But number one, if you want to start homesteading, you just start. Okay. We moved here just kind of on a whim from California, and from the time that we decided to and the time that we were here, we had our house sold. I quit my job and we were here. It was about 6 weeks. Wasn't it about 6 weeks? And we moved, and there was a lot of work that needed to be done here, but we just moved here and we did it. And if we hadn't have leapt like that, just jumped in headlong, then it wouldn't have ever happened. So if you want to homestead, the first key to homesteading is just start, right? And then start small. Did she process? Yeah, I think she did process the rabbit. It's really, the rabbits are the easiest ones to process. Now, they're cute. We've got these little baby bunnies.
They're super cute.
They are super cute. I should go get one, actually. No,
don't leave me.
Okay.
Don't leave me. Herbal medicine, yes, I am interested in that. I haven't taken the time yet to do that.
And you can do a lot of those things inside too. Have a little herbal garden kind of thing.
Apothecary.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. I'd
like to do that stuff.
But
it's on my list.
We've got a list.
We do.
I know. Third Eye Open is. She's giving me some helpful hints too. I looked for some of those books that you mentioned to me, Third Eye, and I couldn't. Bunnies lay eggs, but I couldn't find. I couldn't find some of them. I found a couple of them, but I think one or two of them are out of print. I need to look back at your list again.
We do.
Yeah. Make a list of things that you want to do. When we first got married, we've been married
15 years next month.
In June, it'll have been 15 years that we've been married. I can't believe it. We got married when we were 20, and we're both 35 now.
It's been the best 15 years almost of your life.
Oh man, there's no comparison. You mean chocolate eggs? Yeah. But
Cadbury bunny.
What was I saying about we've been married? Oh yeah, we made a list early on, like you know, 1 year goal, 5 year goal, 10 year goal. A lot of those were financial goals because we really wanted to, you know, to own our own home and be out of debt, and we wanted to wait until we were ready to start kids. But the same thing can be done for your homestead, I think, don't you? You know, we've got some things that we want to complete this year, and you know, that's our list, and then some ultimate goals as well. Oh yeah. It's pretty amazing the, you know, uses for the, you know, the plants. You know, what are homestead goals? Oh, we've talked about this a few times. You know, long-term goals is, you know, self-sufficiency. You know, being off grid, where if disaster strikes, then we can still run some of our and have some of the pleasantries. We want to save our own seeds. We want to, you know, grow our own food. You can't be completely self-sufficient.
No.
There's some things that Papa always mentions every time when we talk about self-sufficiency. He mentions you can't, you know, get your own salt. You can't make your own salt. So, you know, you guys stockpile some of those things, barter for it eventually. But you know, some self-sufficiency is our goal. But you know, more short-term goals. Yeah, I'd like solar panels. You know, Micah McGee that we mentioned in a video a couple days ago, he doesn't have electric in his home. He's off-grid, but
I don't think I realized that.
He does use propane. But I'd like to do some rocket mass heaters and stuff like that. But short-term goal, we still got some more remodeling of our house to do, and I want to put a rocket mass heater in before this winter, and we are going to build a root cellar, and I'm going to have a greenhouse before next spring, just a little one if I need, you know.
Angel Eyes, that's a good question, because both, I don't know, I love doing, so I love reading to the kids, and so I have the sunlight curriculum, but all I'm doing is the books. And so, yeah, so kind of, I don't know, I guess no school would be, but we're doing books. I love reading to them.
Yeah.
And I'm doing Life of Fred. It's called Life of Fred with math, and I don't know.
Yeah, so rocket mass heaters. First off, the homeschool, and we do is kind of a, you know, a combination of you know, unschooling and of homeschooling. Yeah. So a lot of it,
that was my face.
A lot of it is, you know, literature based. She does a lot of reading to them, but you know, she does ask them to, you know, print some, you know, do work on some of their letters and, you know, stuff like that. But
I stopped rushing them. I think like we're like off like. I was trying to stay with the grades a long time ago, but we're completely off and just doing our own thing.
I've told her that I think one of the best gifts that we can give our kids is, you know, just being relaxed and not stressed out about their school and things that's going on there, you know. But now rocket stoves. Rocket stove is very simple. You can make one, you know, easily. I haven't ever made one before, but a rocket mass heater is basically a rocket stove that's got cob or mass around it that it gathers up all of that heat that it makes, which it burns really hot, and it contains it in this thermal mass, and then it lets it out like a battery over time. So you build a fire in the morning, and that lasts you all day until the next day. So you know, it doesn't use near as much wood. It gets you know, burns very efficiently and burns almost everything up. What comes out of the chimney isn't smoke, it's pretty much just steam. So it burns very efficiently, it doesn't use a lot of wood, and it heats very well. So that's what we want. Yes, you can make a stove out of cement blocks, but I think you can use some of the rocket stove with some cement blocks.
And then the greenhouse, yes. Hopefully we're gonna get that done.
I think for a greenhouse,
yeah. I think we're hopefully gonna get that done and do a Wallapini or try to do something like that.
Oh, Papa was mentioning something. Papa, if you're here, what was that you were mentioning about the sun, that it's going to be cooler for the next few years, kind of thing?
Oh, what was that called? I don't remember.
I can look, but if Papa's here, he can say what it is. So there's going to be a cooling period in the next few years. So we're going to want to in the next few years very much. If we don't get it done this year, which I'm going to get it done this year, if it's only a simple one, grand solar minimum, yes. You guys know what we're talking about. Yes, a lot of people make them into furniture like couch or rocket stoves, but the grand solar minimum, we won't be able to grow quite as much. Papa, they already knew it. They beat you to the punch, both Angel Eyes and Deb.
That's pretty cool because I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't know about it, but it's apparently an 11-year cycle that it is, but it goes into a couple 100-year cycles where it's like a last one they call a mini ice age in some ways, but it's not, but it is a cooler period for maybe 10 years. Yeah, our heaters are quite a bit bigger and and people make them into couches, and you sit on the the bench, and it warms your bottom. So that's really nice. I
don't know if we're gonna do that though.
Yeah, we'll probably end up still having at first anyway, propane heat as well as the rocket mass heater.
Our propane heater that we have now is actually broken, so yeah, it made it through the winter.
Oh yeah, YouTube has lots of clips about the Grand Solar Minimum.
I'll have to watch some more on it.
Ice Age Farmer. Okay.
Is there a YouTuber called the Ice Age Farmer?
I think so. I think so. Oh,
what do you do?
I've got to adjust. Sorry. Oh, sorry about this. Tell you about the rockets though. Oh yeah, it's really cool. What's the climate like where you are, Angel Eyes? Do you have a growing zone? If it doesn't get super cold there. There's what? Are you near where Self-Sufficient Me is? And he in Australia as well? Cold and wet today? Okay.
I'm going to look up the Ice Age Farmer when we get in here.
Well, we do have homesteading goals. Goals, we're pretty, financially stable right now. When we first got started, when we bought our house not too far from here before we moved to California, and then in California we were in debt, but we had a goal to get out of debt and put some money away for retirement and stuff like that. So we're doing pretty well as far as that goes. We've adjusted our goals from financial goals to self-sufficiency and sustainability goals and building up the homestead and stuff. As far as the homestead and starting now, I'm trying to go through my list. I think you need to realize that life is short and uncertain. Rua was thinking about her nurse practitioner thing, and she decided not to do it because life is short and uncertain, and that's not what she is passionate about. I imagine that you're here partially because you care about homesteading to a certain degree. Maybe you like us, and I hope that's true, that you like us. We like you very much. But if you're passionate about homesteading and self-sufficiency and sustainability, if you like those things, then life's too short not to do those things. So just start. Just start it. Get some seeds, get some chickens, get some rabbits, get a compost bin, but then start small, because you get discouraged whenever you have too many things going on and things fail, right? So we've been discouraged about stuff. Like we've had gardens the past few years and they've failed, because we had so many other things going on. They didn't fail because we're just complete failures. It failed because we weren't giving it, some attention. And when you start a Back to Eden garden, then it requires the first couple years. It requires some effort and some work to it. And when you're learning what you do, you kind of got to focus on it a bit. You've got to do that. My super, which is like your 401k, has lost so much. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't looked too much at ours, to be honest with you.
We looked at it like once and we've lost some.
Yeah, but we're 35, so it can recover for
maybe.
us.
Can it recover? I don't know.
Maybe. They say our financial planner told us that there's going to be like a
Bye,
few.
Baroness.
Oh, you got to go? All right. Appreciate you, Baroness. Our financial planner told us that there's going to be a few like depressions almost, by the time if we started, because we started when we were 20 years old, putting things in there. So meat babies, y'all are. Talking like Yoda. Yeah, we're young, I guess, but we
are young.
Yeah, but anyway, but you can do that. I put Camel Panels in my garden this year. Oh yes, grow vertically. That's a great thing. growing vertically is a wonderful thing. So start small, and then know when you start that you're going to make mistakes, and actually in some ways welcome the mistakes is what I suggest, because you learn more from mistakes and failures than you do from triumphs. The perfect example that I mentioned last week, I think it was, is our pigs. I had some success with farrowing pigs before, but then I tried something else and I had some failure, and that messed me up big time. So
is the cattle panel that go this way like you can
well, I think it's like Roots and Refuge what they do. She takes them and like in raised beds and puts T-posts on either side, and they come up, like an archway. Yeah. So we might do that, but you don't have to have raised beds to do that. Yeah, and it's not too late. I was telling Papa the other day, Deb, about he's 66. Is that how old you are, Papa? 66 years old. And I said it's not too late. I've known people who started new careers in their 60s, and he said, yeah, even their 70s. So we started younger, I suppose, doing what we want to do. And we wanted to go to California. I think that was a great experience for us. It wasn't homesteading, but it was a wonderful experience. We got to travel. We got to experience those things. Anyway, we started young, but it's not too late for you. It's not too late. If you have, some life, if you can move around even slightly, even if you are kind of hunched over because your back hurts or whatever it may be, you can still do that. Yeah. Yeah, he's still young, isn't he? He's a whippersnapper.
A whipplesnapper?
A whipplesnapper.
Oh, man.
That's what Nana is. She snaps him in, says, get to work. I want you to do things I need. Have a large raised bed with metal lathe panels underneath. Thanks, Arkansas Woodcutter. I appreciate Mark. We don't have a whole lot of gopher problems here.
I feel like Toby's eating them and digging them up.
I think the cats are.
Oh, there's something eating
we've got
things.
little moles. The gophers, what you had in California, they were, good size. But we've got little moles here. I see them all the time. But we decided, because I think we always kind of wanted to do some of these things, garden, and
we just had other stuff that get in the way.
Yeah, we just got distracted. And Rua was a city girl, she had never, camped.
No, I haven't.
You have camped now.
I have camped now. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I would camp again.
Yeah.
The kids have been begging me
when
to go camping.
When it dries up a little bit, we're gonna go set up our tent on the 80 acres next door. No, we don't have voles, I don't think. Do we, Papa? I've never seen a voles over here. It's like a mole rodent kind of thing, but. You haven't heard whippersnapper? Is that what you hadn't heard in the years? What made us start deciding to homestead was, coming back here, self-sufficiency.
I think for me, it was Papa, and it was like this, what was it? It's like Y2K, the squirrel network, and I'd get on there and read, and I'm like, yeah, I don't remember what it was called.
But we came back here
a long time ago. But we came back here to do that.
One of the reasons we came back here was because when Nana and Papa would come visit us in California, they would ride Rua up and down the river and say, when we had kids, we moved, making sure we were right next to, my parents, my mom. We would make sure that we would do that. And they wouldn't do that around me because they, it's like, well, we're doing this. I would shut it down, but they preyed on Rua and made her feel guilty about us being,
and I'm glad they did.
2,500 miles away.
That's too far away. That's too far.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons that we moved back. Hey, there's 19 of you and there's 12 thumbs ups. If the rest of you could give me a thumbs up, that would be great. I would appreciate that very much. As far as homesteading, start homesteading now. Life is short and uncertain. Don't wait to do what you're dreaming to do. Just start small, make mistakes. Don't be hard on yourself when you make mistakes. So you learn from those. We got a lot in common, Elizabeth, Michael. I think we do.
I'm glad for it. It's been really good.
Yeah, they're kooky and they're weird,
but we love them.
And
we wouldn't change it.
We've got to, it's difficult sometimes, but there's a whole lot more benefits to the downsides. And I think it's difficult for Nana and Papa sometimes too, because the kids are up there so much they can't get things done. Like they're just under their feet, kind of thing. and then have fun about homesteading, because I think there's a lot of joy in it. We've done videos about that. We did one that was hashtag what? Do you remember what it was? Why it's worth it.
Oh, all I know is hashtag plan every day.
Hashtag why it's worth it. We did that. We're in Kentucky, in Western Kentucky, God's country.
God's country's everywhere.
Yeah. And when you start homesteading, don't compare yourself to others. We've said this before.
That'll get you. That'll get you every time. And that's what I think that's why I started, people at work, which I work with a great group of people, but it was like, oh, I should go here and do this, or I'm going back to school. And I thought, me too. I need to go back to school. And I think you can do that, with anything. Homesteading. Daniel said he looked on some other channel. He's like, I don't know if this is going to work out. So I think it's just important just to have fun and have a good time.
So one of our goals is to, grow our YouTube channel. Incidentally, for those of you here, if I'm not going to ever ask you for, money or anything like that, no. But if you could, like when you're sleeping, if you leave your computer on or something like that, if you could go to like our all videos playlist and play that, just turn the sound off so you don't have to hear me. That might really help me out to get some of the, the watch hours that I need. Yeah, sometimes you compare and stuff like that, and that's just a trap. Because you're going to see some people have more than you, and it's going to discourage you, and you're going to see some people have less than you, and it's going to give you some arrogance that you don't need.
Downward spiral, or an upward spiral where you think you're too good.
So, Mark, about the kids growing up next to grandparents, I've read many things that it's good for grandparents to be in the lives of their kids, that they live longer, and it's good for kids to have their grandparents there. And and they don't see them all, like they saw them just for a few minutes today too.
Today was different. We had like I did my reading with the kids, and we had breakfast, and then the kids, we have like this fifth wheel trailer. They went over and were out there for hours, and then they played in the water hose and all that stuff on the trampoline. They just played most of the day.
Well, Rua, I used to give her a hard time about the kids. Like, you need to be teaching them these things. This is what we need to do.
That's pretty cool. 7 grandkids.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
You need to be doing these things. And she said, Daniel, playing is learning. Playing is learning. And it definitely is. Yes, you were saying that. That's good. Playing is. She told me that over and over again. Angel Eyes, you and Rua have a lot in common. You're both married to handsome men. You're both RNs. What else was it? The other thing that y'all had in common? You said, we both have 4 kids. Angel Eyes, y'all have 4 kids too. That's really very cool. So don't compare yourself to others, because it's just a trap. Because some people are going to be doing better and some people aren't.
Hey, Angel Eyes is single.
Okay, that was somebody else.
Who are we thinking of then?
That was somebody else then. Anyway, I'm sorry, Angel Eyes. I thought maybe that was somebody else I was thinking about. Play your video for living, so the sound off and let it play. Oh, thank you, Brian. That's really great. I appreciate it. The other thing, I think I've already said this, homesteading isn't just one size fits all. That it's going to look different for people, and it looks different depending on where you live, on the size of your property, and all those things. So that's one of the things about not comparing yourself to others and falling into that trap.
I think so. I like that. Just let the cards fall wherever.
Yeah.
That's cool about the nieces and nephews. Chad, he's single and he doesn't want to be married, and so the kids are like his.
Nieces and nephews. Well, Chad's like my brother.
Yeah, he's like our brother.
So
mine too.
I've not told you a whole lot about Chad. He's kind of camera shy. He doesn't want to be on the camera, but he's a really great guy. He's like my brother. We trust him completely. He's Nana and Papa say that he's like another son in some ways, so that's really nice. And he's over here. He's working on his. He's an illustrator. If you want to follow him on Instagram, his name is Hand Clones. That's HANDCLONES. Just one word. He's he's working really hard at it, and he's trying to post something every day as well. But I think having this and family, it's a really beautiful thing.
Family doesn't have to be blood. He's our family.
Yeah. It's really a beautiful thing. So one of the other things, and y'all are already doing this as well, if you want to start homesteading, join communities and learn from others. So in some ways it seems like we're the teachers in this channel, but we're learning a lot from you all. There's been a few things that I've picked up from you. I forget who it was that said it, but I really, loved what they said was when they plant seeds, they planted 3. One for the birds, one for God, and one for us.
Our kids are doing that. They said that the other day.
Did they say that when they planted some seeds? And I told them, I said, okay, we're going to plant these seeds. Let's, what do we do? And they said one for, and then if we only have, it's like a pumpkin seed, that you only need to put 1 or 2 per hill. I'll say, okay, let's just skip the birds this time, one for God and one for us. So that's a really great thing. So, but join these communities, and there's a lot of other great channels out there, as well. Check out some of the comments, under mine, that some of the people who, check out ours, are having some great channels as well. Arkansas Woodcutter is one. Pine Haven Homestead, they were up there earlier. I can't see who else on this has a channel. Feel free to shout yourself out if you'd like to. Deb doesn't do a whole lot of gardening, but she's got a lot of really great things too on her channel. I'm trying to look and see who else is on here. Baroness of Machiavelli has been planting some stuff every day. Living the Dream Homestead. I'm glad y'all are here too. They've got a nice little homestead there as well. They're off grid, so that's really cool. They were on that show, Homestead Rescue. Did you know that?
No, that's cool.
Isn't that really cool? Yeah, so that's a really nice thing. But join those communities to learn from others, and then join communities to share what you've learned. And don't just do that. Don't just do that on YouTube or on Facebook, because there's a lot of groups there, and Reddit. Do that locally as well. We've tried to living the dream. Yeah, we've tried to connect with some people here, locally as well. We're doing really great. We're
great.
So
no complaints.
Yeah, well, wouldn't do any good anyway, would it?
No, but I don't really have.
I guess y'all listen for a little while until you got tired and then logged out. We're out of here. We don't want to hear this complaining. And the last thing on my list of is to prioritize. Rua said this last winter that we were going to, we're going to do some more work on the house. We're going to, get some more remodeling done. We've got a lot to do. You can look behind us probably and see that there's some things that's not complete, even in the kitchen that we remodeled. But our house is, livable. It keeps us warm in the winter. It keeps us dry. It's, we really appreciate it. It's clean, but it's not perfect, but she said, she said that we need to focus on, getting some of this self-sufficiency, and I want us to have a successful garden this year. So we've been working really hard at it, with our starts and all these things. So, Mo Cowboy 55. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. Do y'all have any questions? Go ahead and take a second and comment where you are in the world if you haven't already done so. Some of y'all have already done that. I know that I know that there's people from Australia, and there's some people from Florida, and there's people from Tennessee. Go ahead and put that on there real quick and tell us where you're from. I was weeding and watching. I had to stop and go inside. That ham sandwich. Oh yeah. Some of these things, make you hungry, don't they? So South Carolina, yes. North Idaho, that's right. Very cool. Brian, Missouri. New Mexico, very cool. Daughter of State's right. She's our neighbor. She's just over a couple counties over.
Oh, that's cool.
We need to connect sometime. Michigan. Yeah.
South Carolina.
I don't guess, Elizabeth, you'd be over anywhere next to Pine Haven, would you? You would. Eastern Oregon, Wolfsbane Hollow. Hey, Wolfsbane. And Central Arkansas. Oh man, so cool. Man.
I like to go to Oregon.
Yeah.
I like to go to Portland, Oregon.
Well, we were gonna go and visit some places, but the travel ban and stuff like that. But it's hard too whenever in the summer you're doing all these things. But we really appreciate you guys. If you have any questions for us, feel free to shoot them out now very quickly. We can try to answer those. But we're going to be working on, I'll probably give you some updates on the rabbits this next week. You knew we had another litter born, didn't you? I think we had 7 more born. So now we went from 3 rabbits to, oh man, that would be great, Angel Eyes. Pretty cool. There was a guy from Greece who said that we were welcome at his estate there. I hadn't heard from him in a while.
I wonder, Eugene. I wonder how Eugene's doing.
Thanks, Arkansas Woodcutter. Mark, you're great. Appreciate you. But what was it? Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of cool things going on. I'll probably do an update. We went from 3 rabbits. That's what I was saying. From 3 rabbits to 17 rabbits because we had 2 litters of 7. So that's really cool. But we might sell some of those and figure out what to do next. I know we might all have to go over and pay a visit to Angel Eyes in Australia. All right, appreciate you guys. Again, if you don't mind tonight, or maybe even for a few nights, if 100 people watch it for or just have it on for 10 hours a day, that would get me 1,000 watch hours. So that would be really cool. I'm about at 2,400 now. I need to get to 4,000. So if y'all would help me out, that would be really great and really helpful to do that. Just turn my voice off and just turn the monitors off or whatever and do that. That would be really cool. All right. Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good one.
Good night.